Title: The Haunting of Hollowbrook House. I always had a fascination with old houses, especially those with a dark history. So when I heard about Hollowbrook House, a decrepit mansion rumored to be haunted, I couldn't resist the temptation to explore its horrors. Little did I know, this decision would lead me into a nightmare I could never escape. As I approached the house, its imposing presence sent shivers down my spine. Each step I took on the creaking porch seemed to echo through the silence of the night. The front door groaned in protest as I pushed it open, revealing a dimly lit corridor that stretched into darkness. I cautiously stepped inside, my heart pounding in my chest. The air was heavy with a musty scent, and a chill ran down my spine as I felt unseen eyes watching my every move. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being lured into a trap. As I ventured deeper into the house, the walls seemed to whisper secrets, and shadows danced in the corners of my vision. The sound of footsteps echoed through the empty halls. But I was alone, or so I thought. In the parlor, I stumbled upon an old photograph, its frame covered in dust. It depicted a family, their faces twisted in anguish. A sense of unease washed over me as I realized they were the previous owners of Hollowbrook House. What had driven them to such despair? I continued my exploration, my curiosity overpowering my fear. The house seemed to come alive, as if it had a mind of its own. Doors slammed shut behind me, trapping me in narrow corridors. Furniture shifted and toppled over, as if propelled by an unseen force. The walls groaned and moaned, as if they were alive and suffering. As the night wore on, I found myself in a room filled with mirrors. The reflections were distorted, showing grotesque versions of myself. Panic set in as I realized I was trapped, unable to escape the maze of reflections. The mirrors seemed to mock me, whispering twisted promises of eternal torment. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, moving towards me with a slow, deliberate pace. It was a specter, clad in tattered rags, its face contorted in agony. The ghostly figure reached out with skeletal fingers, its touch icy cold against my skin. I screamed, but no sound escaped my lips. Time seemed to stand still as the ghostly presence enveloped me, its grip tightening. I could feel its pain, its suffering seeping into my very soul. I was trapped in a never-ending nightmare, doomed to relive the horrors of Hollowbrook House for eternity. But just as all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of light pierced through the darkness. A voice, faint yet determined, called out to me. It was a voice from beyond, urging me to fight against the evil that held me captive. Summoning every ounce of strength, I fought back against the ghostly presence. With each struggle, the grip weakened until finally, I broke free. Gasping for air, I stumbled out of Hollowbrook House, leaving behind the Hollowbrook House, leaving behind the horrors that had consumed me. To this day, I bear the scars of that night, both physical and emotional. Hollowbrook House remains a place of nightmares, a reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all. And though I escaped its clutches, I know that the horrors I witnessed will forever haunt me.